petit soir.
So we back with another episode of Whatshappeninslim. Another episode, but this is a little different. We talking to my man Trey, and he gonna talk to y'all about being financially free by the way of real estate and going into business for yourself. So can you introduce yourself to the people?
What's going on, people? My name Trayvon, Bigtray, born and raised in DC, uptown to be Pacific. What up?
Shout out to Instagram.
Instagram, 3_ Bigtray, 3_ again. 3_ Bigtray, 3_.
Tell them how they could find out about your business and how they could possibly rent out one of your spots.
I mean, Airbnb, but it ain't no way to just tell y'all exactly, where to go from here. But just rental properties, you're just gonna have to contact me through DM. I'll let you know what I got.
Okay, so now that you introduced yourself, how was your childhood?
I'm gonna say my childhood was pretty good. Middle class family. Seen a little bit of struggling, but also I ain't have to struggle too much. So right in that middle. Sports. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything. Good, bad. I ain't about to sit up here and sweat or nothing like that. But like I said, definitely wasn't rich either.
Right.
So, I'm gonna say my childhood was good. Decent shoes, decent clothes, sports.
So, what was you a smart kid growing up? Like, was you ahead of the class when you was in school?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I was smart, but I got skipped a grade and everything. So I went from 2nd to 4th grade. I didn't think I was that smart, but they skipped me. And so I'm gonna say I've been pretty smart. Eventually, I got put back in my right grade for some some other stuff, not because of the brains, for some other stuff. But I'm gonna say I was pretty smart.
We said, "Nah, nigga, you got to go back to your regular class." I want to ask you, what motivated you to be an entrepreneur?
I'm gonna say I don't like being told what to do.
So was it your parents that had influence on you, or was it somebody that had influence on you that wanted you that made you want to be an entrepreneur?
I'm gonna say more so my dad, because he always had an apartment. He bought it when I was like a teenager or something like that. He bought an apartment over there on 8th Street, and it's been pretty good for him. And I saw it being pretty good for him at that time. So,
what year was that?
I was a teenager, so probably
like in the 90s.
04, 05, 06.
Damn, I thought you was older than that.
Nah.
Damn, you said a teenager in 04, 06. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
33.
How did you get in the business of real estate?
Again, I don't like being told what to do, so I'm gonna say, after I graduated college and started working, of course it's time to go into the real world and shit. So I'm getting jobs, being told what to do. You know what I'm saying? Be here this time. You can't do this. You can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. So in my head, I always be like, how can I beat this mission right here?
Right.
To beat this mission of not having the boss is to be my own boss.
Right.
So I'm gonna say, like I said, being told what to do is kind of what pushed me to want to be my own boss.
How did you get into real estate? Was it somebody that said, because of your mind state and you want to be your own boss, was it somebody that said, hey, I got this opportunity, let me show you? Or was it just your father's grind that showed you, oh, I could get it too, because my father got this building,
right,
and I could get it?
Right. I'm going to say it was a little bit of my father, but like I said, it was more so me not being told what to do. So I'm looking at, before I got into real estate, I'm looking at other businesses where I'm like, all right, this might can work, but real estate seems to be the only thing that no matter what you do,
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, the value of your money is going to increase, the value of that
Okay.
house.
Okay.
Everything else was like, I can do this, but it ain't guaranteed. It's like stocks and cryptocurrency. You never know what you're going to get. You
Right.
might
It's
win.
like fake Tims.
Right.
Like you could buy them for $50 and try selling for $100, but there's no guarantee the soul's gonna last.
Correct.
Okay.
Like I said, real estate value. Oh, that's like the only thing that's gonna always go up no matter what.
To be realistic, how much would you need? Because I know you got Airbnbs, you got some other stuff, but how much would you need? Let's say to do an Airbnb. How much realistically? How much would a person need that has a 9 to 5? Can they do it? Can they get an Airbnb?
Yeah. So the first thing I learned was getting so I'm gonna tell you how I got my very first house. Where I stay out now in PG County. I got tired of living with my father when I came home from school. we too much alike. We both Pisces. We kept bumping heads. So again, I said, how can I solve this mission? About this joint.
Right.
And I started looking at apartments. I was about to move to Greenleaf and James Creek. I know James Creek at. And I told my mother, I was like, yeah, Mom, I'm about to get about this joint. And I'm telling her where I'm about to move. She's like, oh no. See, you try to, go to this website, see if you can buy your own house first. And at first, I'm like, man, I'm 20, what was that, 25 at the time? I'm like, I can't buy no damn house. That's a grown person move. But I went to the website, they asked you for my information. And all you need is 2 years work history, 2 W-2s, and 2 pay stubs, 2-year work history.
Can you shout out that website, or do you remember?
GoFirstHome.com. Click on Michelle Greenwald, and then upload all the documents that she asked for.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's what I did, and they told me you qualify for X amount of money. So I'm like, oh shit, I might can buy a fucking house. And off the back, I was like, man, I can't buy it in DC. DC smoking, that's too much. For what I can get in DC, I got a whole house in in PG County. Mm-hmm. So that's how I bought my first house.
What was it like buying your first house? What was that? I'm talking about the feeling of you actually closing on the house, and you getting the keys and y'all going there.
Well, it was a good feeling because I definitely know nobody really my age getting their house at 25. So from the neighborhood, from college friends to my parents didn't get their first house at 25. You know what I'm saying? So I got my brother could look up to me doing something great, and which ended up happening because he got way more properties than me, way more. He younger than me.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It's facts.
He's supposed to motivate you, Slim.
Facts.
You motivated him,
right?
Now he motivates you.
I'm chasing him now.
Yeah.
He also had He also got army money too, so he cheated. He joined the army. I didn't, but
you can VA loans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, it was a good feeling. Me and my mother went to closing. Back then, I don't know if they still do it today. I ain't see it since I bought any other property since then. But when we went to closing, the seller was there, so it was a little weird because he had a crazy reason for selling the house. Son with his wife, something. So it was a little, mad, but good day.
What would you say to a young black man that think that they can't do it?
I'm gonna say you can do it. Like I said, buying a house at 25, now I was getting younger and younger, but around that time I was the only one that did it. I didn't even know I could do it. It took my mother to say, nah, you're gonna see if you can buy a house to do it. You just gotta, keep grinding and, keep your head on a straight path, and you'll be all right.
So somebody working from 9 to 5 and trying to get into real estate, was it a fear that you had? And what I mean by fear or maybe I'm using the wrong word, but was it a reservation that you had? Like, oh man, if the shit don't work, then I might not be able to pay this mortgage on this house, and I might lose this house. And
Yeah, that always played the fair. In my mind, it's scary because you always a little nervous because you got Airbnb. It's somebody can fake slip and fall. Now they trying to sue you and all this other shit. So even with rental properties, the rules protect it so much for the tenant. It's hard to, it's like, damn, the tenant can say I did this, and now, I got to get my house up to the door, or X amount of money, or whatever the case is. So,
what's the downfall of having an Airbnb versus a rental property? Well, I already know.
Yeah.
For the people, what's the difference?
Not making as much money, not having your Airbnb booked as much as you think it would be booked, or having a whole bunch of bad reviews, causing your shit to get less booked. Of course, something happening in your Airbnb, and the guests try to sue you, and
But how can you protect yourself if somebody's lying? And we're not talking about renter's insurance or having insurance. We just talking about somebody. The straight line on a review, and they trying to get you already know they trying to get some money back. How do you protect you?
Well, I would say take pictures if you can, and more often. So if something does happen, you have, dates of when you took that picture, in case the person try to say, "Oh, this rail was broken when we walked in," and you'll be like, "Nah, I had a picture the day before." Or
stay tuned for part 2 of the interview with Bigtray. And like I always say, my opinion is my opinion. Your opinion is tell me my opinion is wrong. But at the end of the day, that's just your opinion. Until next episode. You know me.